Hello and welcome, everyone. I am your hotel AI expert, bringing you years of experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am absolutely thrilled to welcome all the students of the Europe Hotel School, as well as the hospitality professionals joining us to this online learning journey. We're here to support your professional growth in this amazing industry. In today's explainer, we're going to dive right into how you can completely transform your front desk from a simple, everyday administrative checkpoint into a highly effective, high-performance sales engine. Okay, so here's a quick look at our agenda for today's premium masterclass. We'll be covering 1. The consultative hospitality paradigm. 2. The strategic art of upselling. 3. Cross-selling for diversified revenue. 4. Techniques for sales ambassadors. 5. Management, metrics, and motivation. And finally, 6. The ethics of hospitality. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The consultative hospitality paradigm. Redefining the front desk. To kick things off, we really need to fundamentally shift our mindset. In the ultra-competitive landscape of international tourism, every single interaction you have with a guest is a massive window of opportunity. Take a look at the contrast here. On the left, we have your average hotelier stuck in transactional selling. That basically just means pushing products, offering generic cookie-cutter service, and focusing only on the administrative chore of checking someone in. But over on the right, that's where true professionals live. They practice consultative hospitality. This means anticipating and understanding a guest's needs so deeply that your suggestions don't even feel like a sales pitch. They just feel like highly personalized, incredible service. Moving right along to Section 2, the strategic art of upselling, or elevating the guest's stay. So, let's explore one of our absolute best tools for enhancing a guest's stay while also driving the hotel's bottom line. Upselling is essentially the strategic process of encouraging a guest to purchase a slightly more expensive version of the item they originally intended to buy. At the front desk, this usually means smoothly moving a guest from a standard room up to a superior category, maybe a suite or a room with an amazing panoramic city view. By doing this, you're capturing a higher average daily rate, or ADR, for the hotel on a room that might have otherwise just sat vacant, all while giving the guest exceptional comfort. Honestly, it's the ultimate win-win. Now, the real secret sauce to pulling off a successful upsell lies in mastering a little concept we like to call the value gap. This happens when a guest perceives the value of an upgrade as far, far outweighing the small incremental costs tied to it. As you can clearly see in this chart, when that perceived value is exceptionally high, the actual cost really becomes secondary. Imagine you're a skilled receptionist, and you figure out that a couple checking in is celebrating their wedding anniversary. Suddenly, the value of upgrading them to a suite, giving them more space, a soaking tub, a stunning view, that value completely dwarfs the minor bump in price. When the guest feels like the value they are getting is way higher than the price tag, boom, the upsell is successful. All right, Section 3, cross-selling for diversified revenue. It's time to activate the central hub. While upselling is all about optimizing that room revenue, cross-selling is what positions your front office team as the ultimate ambassadors for the entire property. This is the practice of suggesting related or complementary products and services outside of just the room itself. Because think about it, the front desk is the central hub of the hotel. Your team is perfectly positioned to recommend a reservation at the hotel's signature restaurant, suggest a relaxing spa treatment, or even arrange a private chauffeur. This totally diversifies your revenue streams and significantly bumps up your TRevPAR, that's total revenue per available room, while giving the guest a beautifully curated experience. Which brings us to Section 4, techniques for sales ambassadors. Let's open up the toolkit for success. To make sure these vital sales feel totally natural and not forced, we train our students in 4 core techniques. First, absolute product knowledge. This is foundational. You simply can't sell what you don't understand, right? So knowing those room layouts and menus inside out is crucial. Second is perfect timing. You want to strike during what we call the golden moment of check-in, right when the guest is excited to be there. Third is the use of benefit language, which smartly shifts the focus away from the cost and onto the experience. And finally, number 4, always be genuine. Pressuring a guest is just going to lead to buyer's remorse. Making sincere recommendations based on the guest's profile builds real, lasting trust. Let's actually look at how benefit language works in the real world. Instead of just throwing a price at someone, imagine saying this: for an additional $50, you will have access to the executive lounge, which includes complimentary evening cocktails and a private breakfast area. Do you see how brilliant that is? It demonstrates the immense power of benefit language. It literally transforms a simple $50 upcharge into an absolutely irresistible vision of luxury and exclusivity.
Moving into Section 5, Management, Metrics, and Motivation, Building the Infrastructure.
Now, a high-performance consultative culture doesn't just magically thrive on its own. It requires really strong leadership behind the scenes. Strategic managers rely on precise data, just like what you see here, to track success ratios, things like upsell conversion rates and cross-sell TrevPAR contributions. By looking closely at these metrics, managers can easily identify best practices from their high performers, share those with the wider team, and pinpoint exactly where constructive coaching is needed. Building this infrastructure takes actionable steps from management. It all starts with implementing safe role-playing exercises so the team can practice handling objections and using that benefit language before they ever face a real guest. Then, you want to launch monthly incentive programs. Rewarding your staff with commissions or even non-monetary perks creates this incredibly healthy competitive environment. Suddenly, you've got a motivated, highly capable team actively looking for every single opportunity. And finally, Section 6, the ethics of hospitality, selling with integrity. We're going to wrap up our masterclass with what is arguably the most vital foundational principle governing all hospitality operations. Never, ever sacrifice long-term trust for a short-term gain. Transparency and honesty are absolutely non-negotiable. If a room is advertised as having a sea view, well, it needs to have a genuine, unobstructed sea view. Misleading a guest might get you a quick, one-time profit, but it completely destroys any chance of repeat bookings and heavily damages the hotel's global reputation. Ethical selling is the absolute bedrock of the hotelier-guest relationship. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Will your next guest interaction be a simple, forgettable transaction, or will it be a masterclass in consultative hospitality? As you continue your professional online learning journey, ask yourself how you are going to apply these expert tools. Because when you do it right, every purchase genuinely adds value to a guest's life, elevating your career and the experience of every single person who walks through those doors. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.